I mean, honestly, I was really surprised. Like, I thought it was so awesome that near the end that I could see that what was cool is that by having the Cal students make music with the youth and not just be there to learn and observe, it forced them to make themselves vulnerable and to be like goofy and insecure and all those things that come up when we try to put our art out there, which is really scary no matter what age you're at.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Funny, but we made it work. Like the age didn't even really matter because we all clicked and we had fun.
I think by grouping them together, not by like youth and adults, but like mixing the ages, it forced the Cal students to like to open up and share things about their lives that help them connect to the young people. A lot of the youth were like, I would have never known that blah 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 went through all of this, or that blah 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 came from a similar background as Richmond, as me.
And so it was just like we family. We're all in this business. And you know, we all want to see each other do something wonderful and great.
I guess I have more empathy now, and I try to put things into perspective. Like, it's really easy to judge people just on the first look, but once you kind of dig into a different social context, you have more empathy, and you can figure out that things happen for a reason, and the Bay Area has all the resources, and you still don't see equity at all.
I'm always now, more than before for sure, trying to think about just day-to-day issues, trying to think about what this perspective would be of someone that's not a university student that happens to be living in these areas, Richmond, Berkeley, whatnot. I'm more aware of the fact that we are, as students in this university, in a fairly coddled environment just by nature of going to school. It definitely, I guess the biggest number one thing would be that it gave me a more personal association with everything. Not just an interesting topic of study, but something that's alive and something that I'm engaged with.
I also like gained a bigger appreciation, you know, for artists and like for people who can do that and just like create this beat.
If you have that classical music background, you kind of tend to overlook other styles of music, but after that I won't do it with hip hop at all, because there's a lot of stuff going on.
The way I see hip hop now, I guess, is just, you know, I kind of see it as a overarching story, and at the center of its narrative is the underprivileged youth, whether that be, you know, African American kids in the urban city, or Latino kids, whatever, you know, is the underprivileged. I feel like it's their story. They're telling stories from that perspective, and that it just gave me a deeper appreciation for hip hop in that sense. I mean it so much. This was like the best experience I had at UC Berkeley.
I would say I'm like really impressed. It's a really impressive experience, and yeah, and also I think I learned a lot in terms of American culture, and also learn a lot about hip hop, and it definitely adds on a lot to my following like study in UC Berkeley. And also I feel like after this program we still like have a really strong relationship with each other. Like UC Berkeley, we still get to like keep in touch and check on with each other.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's nice. Through Facebook or?
Facebook. Yeah, always like each other's like profile pics and sort of stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just like, I think it's really powerful for like Richmond youth to get to know students who are going to this like very prestigious university on a personal level and hear their backstories and hear what took them there, because I really think that like once young people see themselves reflected in people that are in a good college or like in higher education, it gets them thinking about what do they want, where do they see themselves, what's possible for them, and it breaks down this idea that like, oh, I can't go to college, or I'm not on a college track or whatever. in them, I think just that human connection, just like building relationships with people that you think are so different than you and realizing that you have a lot in common because you've all made yourself vulnerable and told your life story to each other. It can be just so powerful, no matter what the makeup or demographic of the group is. I think like that's one of my favorite things in life, is just like the power of storytelling and the power of like language, music, poetry to bridge gaps across like our misunderstandings of each other.